This is my boy Donkey Kong, and not only does he like to eat bananas, he also likes to jump. But what if jumping was out of the question? Today, we'll be playing all of the mainline Donkey Kong games and we'll see how far we can get in each of them without ever jumping. Will we even beat the first level? Will we beat an entire game? I don't know. Subscribe and let's find out. The first Donkey Kong arcade game actually features Donkey Kong as the evil guy. We're actually playing as Mario and we're meant to go up these ladders to get to the top and rescue Pauline. Man, Pauline surely changed quite a lot over the years. Anyways, since we cannot jump above the barrels to dodge them, we'll have to use the ladders and climb on them, which can be a bit tricky, as sometimes barrels go down the ladders. I made my way to the top and got stuck there for a bit, but eventually I had an opening and I reached the end of the level. Yay! Time for the second one, and looks like we'll have to jump if we want to reach these elevator platforms. But you know what, since we can't jump, let's just try falling on one, and we can't. If you don't jump in this game, you just fall down in a straight line. Well, that's it for this one, I guess. In the second game, Donkey Kong Jr., we actually play as Junior, and our goal is to climb up to save our daddy Donkey Kong. But if we want to do that, we'll have to climb on the vines. But how am I expected to do just that without jumping? Well, simply put, I can't. Yeah, there's nothing we can do in this game. I absolutely have to jump to begin playing it. So yeah, I guess we're not gonna be playing it today. Might as well just go for a swim. And I drowned. Just my luck. Donkey Kong 3 makes DK the bad guy once more, and this time around we play as a guy named Stanley the Exterminator, and we have to spray bug spray at DK until he moves all the way up the ropes. What a weird idea for a game! Anyways, once more, there's not much we can do without jumping. You see, you can spray DK and prevent him from coming down and crashing onto you, but you cannot spray high enough to defeat him. Ugh. Once again, if we want to beat the game, we have to jump and go up these platforms. Man, I cannot believe I'm getting destroyed by these classic arcade games. This is not easy. Alright, this next game is Donkey Kong on the Game Boy, and at first it looks like a remake of the Donkey Kong arcade game we already played on NES, but this one has a twist. The first level is exactly the same, and just like the NES version, by waiting for the perfect timing, we can actually get to the top and clear the stage. The second level is very different this time around, and it's really simple. Basically, climb on the ladders and get to the top. The third level is going to be more problematic once again. The thing is, we can now fall and control the direction of our fall, allowing us to clear the gap we couldn't do previously on the NES version. But if we get to this platform, then we can no longer go up, so that's a problem. The thing is, by moving to the right and falling with the exact timing, we can land on this platform instead, which then allows us to get to the top and win! Nice! Time for the final stage, and this one is pretty simple, as we just have to walk on the platforms to destroy them and defeat DK. And there we go, we beat the game! It's that simple. Wait a minute, what's going on there? What? There's more levels? Yup, we got baited. This is not a remake of the arcade game. It is a brand new game where we need to collect keys and open up doors. Well, that was a surprise. Sadly, we'll never get to unlock a single door because this first level requires us to jump on the platform to reach the key. That's sad, but still, we got pretty far, so I am happy. Hey, guess what? We're finally playing as Donkey Kong in this next game. Donkey Kong Country is up, and we'll see if we can do anything in this one. The first level, Jungle Hijinks, wasn't too difficult, as we can just roll into the enemies to defeat them. Eventually, I did reach a part where there doesn't seem to be anything to do. There's the wall, and we cannot jump to move past it. Sadly, we also cannot hop on Rambi the Rhino without jumping. So, what can we do exactly? Well, we can defeat all of the enemies, grab a barrel, and then break this wall open with it. Yay! This allowed us to clear the stage. Ropey Rampage is up, and this one reminds me of Donkey Kong Jr. on the NES. There's a rope that we have to grab, and we cannot do that without jumping. Well, that's it for this one. Let's get the old Game Boy out for this remake of Donkey Kong Country 1. Welcome to Donkey Kong Land. And don't get used to that one, as we won't be playing it for long. The first level will feature a couple enemies to defeat by rolling, but soon we'll get to a part where we absolutely need to jump if we want to proceed through the stage. And obviously, we can't do that. So yeah, that's it. Time for the Super Nintendo sequel, DKC2 Diddy's Kong Quest. And guess what? We're not playing as Donkey Kong in this game! Oh my gosh, like, I feel like half the freaking DK games we're playing as someone else! Anyways, the first level started off fine, allowing us to defeat enemies by rolling into them, up until we get to this part. How do we get up without jumping? Well, here's the thing, there's a new ability in Donkey Kong Country 2, Kong Throwing. By pressing A, we can grab and throw a Kong to get teleported to them afterwards. So by using this strategy, we can actually clear out a bunch of gaps and even get to the end of the stage. Sadly, I do have a feeling of deja vu with this second one, cause we have to go up a rope. And once again, without jumping, we cannot do anything about it. Man, these freaking ropes and vines will be the end of me. Donkey Kong Land 2 is, you guessed it, a remake of DKC2, but with more limitations, including the loss of the ability to throw your Kong partner, which means we'll run into a wall in the first 10 seconds of playing the game, and there's literally nothing we can do about that. So yeah, that's it for this one. The third and final game on the SNES, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, once again features the Kong throwing ability, and this will allow us to move quite far into the stage, up until we get to this part where we have to jump in the water. We can swim left and right quite easily, but how the heck will we get out of the water without jumping? Well, simply put, we will not. Yeah, we'll just have to stay in the water forever and ever. Donkey Kong Land 3 on the Game Boy is the sequel to DK Land 2 and also a port of DKC 3. And guess what? The Kong throwing ability hasn't been added in this one. So yet again, after about 15 seconds, we'll run into a dead end and there's just nothing we can do. Man, the Donkey Kong Land series is truly disappointing for this quest. Anyways, time to move on to the Nintendo 64. Donkey Kong 64 is a phenomenal game, and I do hope to be playing it quite a lot, so hopefully jumping will not be required in this one. So, after watching the cutscene and leaving DK's house, we have to go see Cranky Kong so that he unlocks the 4 training barrels required to leave the tutorial area. But here's the thing, these barrels are floating in the air, and there seems to be no way of getting up there. There's a big tree in the center, but we cannot climb it in order to fall down in the barrels. I even did the little kick attack, which does seems to jump a bit, but anyways, it doesn't give us enough height to enter the barrels. This is a bit sad. I really wanted to play more of Okay, so turns out Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy wasn't a remake of Donkey Kong Country after all, because there's an actual game called Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Color, and I guess let's just try to beat this one. Okay, I can safely say that this one is way more faithful to the original, and the first level is just like the SNES version, meaning we can definitely beat it. I mean, let's just destroy the enemies, grab the barrel to break open the wall, and fall over the... Wait, I fell in the freaking pit? Well, that's interesting. This time around, we have to throw the barrel and then roll on the other side of the pit, because if you don't, you just fall down. Anyways, after beating the bonus stage, we'll stand over there, and then we'll fall down there. Yep, the game doesn't put us on the top of the trees this time around, so there's nothing we can do, and we cannot clear the freaking first stage. This is so embarrassing. Yup, we're playing Donkey Kong Country once again, but this time on the Game Boy Advance. And I have to admit that they did put some efforts into this port, adding an intro cutscene and actual dialogue, so that's kinda neat. The game also looks a lot better, and we can use the same barrel strategy to get to the bonus area. And clearing the pit is not an issue here. We are even put on top of the tree after the bonus area, so we just have to roll above the last gap to clear the stage. And there we go. Wait, why did I fall down? Why do I keep falling down? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this! The momentum is different in the Game Boy Advance version, and we can no longer clear this freaking gap by simply rolling above it! Why is this so annoying? Why can't you just freaking remake the same game? I'm done with this one, okay? I don't want to play another version of it. This next game is a pretty special one, because you gotta use the DK bongos if you want to play it. Hit the left bongo to move left, hit the right bongo to move right, clap to attack the enemies, and hit both bongos if you want to jump. Obviously, we won't be doing that last one. Alright, let's go. Okay, so the first thing this game introduces is a tree stump that we have to jump over. It's even showing me what to do. It's not that I don't know how, it's that I can't. Oh my gosh, this is starting to be so pathetic. I'm getting my ass kicked right now. Let's play another remake. Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Game Boy Advance. And this one is pretty well made, as it features everything the SNES game had. The Kong throwing ability is back, allowing us to get quite far into the game. But the thing is, we won't be able to finish a level anyways. You see, in this game, if you want to beat the stage, you have to jump on this target that's on the floor. And I just can't do that. I tried throwing a Kong on it, rolling on it, but it just doesn't work. It is a shame because I could do it on the SNES version, but this port works differently once again. Alright, let's just move over to the next game. DK King of Swing is a GBA game that's focused on climbing stuff, and the first thing we'll have to do is to learn how to do just that. But here's the thing, if we want to climb on stuff, we first have to jump. This is kinda bad. Thankfully, we can just go talk to Cranky to skip the tutorial screens one after another, so we're good. Or are we? There's now a tire between Cranky and DK in this section, and there's no avoiding this one. If we want to beat this screen, we have to jump above the tire. Man, another game where we cannot even beat the tutorial. This is pretty bad. Donkey Kong Country 3 on the GBA is really faithful to the SNES version. So faithful in fact that we lose this challenge at exactly the same spot. We are swimming and we cannot get out of the water. That's it. Next game, please. Technically, if you want to start playing DK Jungle Climber, you do have to jump inside those barrels to select a file and start the adventure mode. But you know what? I kinda wanna play this game a bit, as I've never played it before, so I'll just ignore these 2 menu jumps. Well, this game is the direct sequel to King of Swings, it looks like. And guess what? If we want to climb on the walls, we first have to jump onto the wall. So yeah, this one is also already over. I'm a bit sad. We're back to the Donkey Kong Country series, and this time around, we're playing the Wii version. This one starts off with DK leaving his house, rolling into a bird only to stumble on this, a block. This little pig dude tells us to shake the Wiimote and nunchucks like a mad lad, but I'm doing that and nothing happens. Why are you lying to me, piggy? So normally you have to jump on top of the block and then hit it to break it. But yeah, we cannot jump. So that's it, we failed the challenge once again. Maybe the 3DS version of this game will be different. And no. Okay, thank you, next. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Cheese on the Wii U is up. And would you look at that, we get to swim in the water from the get-go. Will we escape the dangerous water this time? Well, yeah, we can just swim upwards and leave without having to jump, which is pretty cool. But sadly, after that, we'll be in front of a giant wall. We have to jump on these 2 trees to proceed through the level. So I guess this will be the end of the road. The Switch version is pretty much the same game, but with Funky Kong, but you know what, the dude's worthless in this challenge, so nothing actually changes. That's all we can try for now. So yeah, we attempted this challenge on 21 different games today, and we lost the challenge in all of them. It is a bit disappointing, but maybe we'll do better with another game series. Which one would you like me to do this challenge on? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!